Hello everyone, this is DJ Sully D for Red Alert Media, and this is my countdown of the best movies of 2019. I hope you enjoy. Now let's get on with the countdown.
Okay, movie fans, at number 10 is Little Women. So I really enjoyed Little Women, especially once I got used to the nonlinear timeline. It's just a little slow to start, but by the second act has picked up the action until the third act gives me a great conclusion to the movie. The nonlinear storytelling really sets it apart from the other movies and the book. It reminds me of Shakespeare in Love and the feeling I had for that movie. I have to say that Saoirse Ronan had the best performance for a female in a movie that I saw during the entire 2019 movie year. And to add to that, Timothée Chalamet brought a great energy and sense of fun to the movie that I think really helped it have a fresh, fun take. This movie gets 4 out of 5 stars. Now I think this is going to be one of the more controversial picks in my top 10 list, but at number 9 is The Rise of Skywalker. I'm a Star Wars fan and I really like this movie. Is it all that I wanted? No, but it was a tremendously satisfying conclusion to the Skywalker saga. I really enjoyed the fact that time was taken to build up our new set of heroes. John Boyega had his best performance as Finn. He was also given much more to do. Oscar Isaac as Poe was much more likable without the crazy comedy of The Last Jedi. The acting of Daisy Ridley as Rey has also improved tremendously since The Force Awakens. The strength of this movie is definitely the relationship between our three main heroes, Rey, Finn, and Poe. Adam Driver brings more energy to the part of Kylo Ren, making us care much more about the fate of Ben Solo. Altogether, a great take on the Star Wars saga, and I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. And at number 8, we have John Wick 3. I went into this movie at a disadvantage because I had not seen John Wick 1 and 2. However, it became apparent very fast that this was an all-out action fest from the first minutes of the movie. I've always liked Keanu Reeves, especially in action roles, and I'm really glad he has found a series of movies to really make a comeback with. The action is amazing and the stunt work is first rate, including that great horseback scene. Halle Berry fit well into John Wick as a butt-kicking sidekick for John Wick's character, and you just had to love her dogs. This movie seemed like it was meant to shoot up the John Wick universe, and believe me, they did plenty of shooting. One question I do have after this movie is why is nobody afraid of John Wick anymore? This movie, definitely 4 out of 5 stars. And at number 7, we have Aladdin. I honestly didn't see this one coming. I went to Aladdin almost as a side note, basically to see what this movie looked like in live action, and to see what Will Smith could do as Genie. And boy was I pleased. First off, Will Smith did a great Genie. I was so glad he made it his own for the most part, and didn't try to be a copy of Robin Williams. I really liked Mane Massoud as Aladdin. I thought he did a great job and really captured all of Aladdin's greatest traits. He was really a fresh face. Naomi Scott was also great as Jasmine. The singing was impressive. Mane did a good job, but Naomi was brilliant. I loved all the visuals of this movie. It was all brilliantly done. And man, I couldn't have asked more for the flying carpet and Abu. I know there was a lot of discussion about this not being all that original, but I enjoyed the attempt to make it live action anyways. This movie, I give 4 out of 5 stars. And moving on to number 6, we have Rocketman. This was a very engaging movie. I'm not a huge Elton John fan, but I am a big Taron Egerton fan, and he was tremendous in this movie. He really captured the essence of Elton John, and what I liked the most about this movie is that it was actually Taron Egerton singing all those Elton John classics. The costuming was outstanding and really made me feel like I was experiencing the time period. The action of the movie intercut between what was going on in Elton's life and his music, and it was really moving. I came out of this movie feeling like I knew much more about Elton John. I thought Taron Egerton had one of the best performances of the year, and I also enjoyed Richard Madden in his role as well. The only negative I had here was that the movie just seemed to end. Rocketman, 4.5 stars. And now we can move into our top 5 with Avengers In Game, coming in at number 5. I'm really not sure how to rank In Game. I really enjoyed the movie, but it seemed a little anticlimactic to me, and of course we all knew the heroes were going to come back.
I must say that I liked Infinity War much better. So what are the things I liked? First, the performances were great. Robert Downey Jr., Karen Gillan, Chris Evans, and Scarlett Johansson were particularly good, and I really enjoyed their performances. And while I also enjoyed Chris Hemsworth as Thor, I wasn't the happiest with how he or the Hulk was written. I thought they were totally out of character, and it would have moved this movie way up the ranks if they had written them better. The visuals were great, and I liked how they handled the time travel while connecting all of the universes. The end battle may have been the most epic battle ever seen on the big screen. And woo, Spider-Man is alive. Thank God. Avengers In Game with 4.5 stars. Coming in at a surprising number 4 is Yesterday. So I only found myself setting at this movie because I thought it was a really neat concept. I don't really have a lot to say except I really loved it. I thought this was one of the more original ideas I've seen in the last few years, and it was really entertaining to see how they pulled it all off. Considering I've never been a huge Beatles fan, I was surprised how much I really liked the music. Heck, they even got Ed Sheeran in the movie. I thought the chemistry between Himesh Patel and Lily James was the strength of the movie, and I really enjoyed their interactions. This was a fresh, fun movie that I will see multiple times, and thus it gets 5 stars. And at number 3, we have Knives Out. I was thrilled with this movie when I went to see it in the theater. The images and costumes were all great. I loved the house that they filmed in. The cast was brilliant, although I'm not sure we needed that many of them. I loved Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc. He really set a great tone for the detective in this movie. I loved his overdone southern accent. I also thought Ana de Armas did a great job as a troubled Marta. This was one of the better ensemble casts that I saw this year. I really liked the murder mystery genre movies, and there hasn't been really much to talk about recently, just Murder on the Orient Express, which I was pretty heavily disappointed with. The twist here was just a little cheesy, but it was good enough to keep everyone on their toes and guessing till the very end. This definitely gets 5 stars. And coming in at number 2, Spider-Man Far From Home. This was my second most anticipated movie of the year, and boy, it turned out to be everything I was hoping for. Tom Holland and Jake Gyllenhaal are 2 of my favorite actors, and they had great chemistry together and put together great performances. Tom Holland's portrayal of Peter Parker was once again right on point. He brings such great charisma to the character of Spider-Man. He brought all that emotion that I was expecting to this film after the events of Endgame. The tie-ins with Endgame were also worked into the movie in a responsible way. There were plenty of funny moments to lighten the mood, with all the sad moments. After all the info in the trailers, the twist was a gasp-worthy moment for me in the theater. The moment it was revealed that Mysterio was the bad guy, I felt so super stupid, but it was a great twist. The final battle was epic and came to a great conclusion. The after-credit scene set up the next installment as one of my most anticipated movies. Spider-Man Far From Home, a big 5 stars out of 5. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of our countdown of my top 10 movies of 2019. And coming in at number 1 is Jojo Rabbit. All I have to say about Jojo Rabbit is wow. I hadn't even heard about this movie until I accidentally stumbled across the trailer. This could have been a disaster, but Taika Waititi did a masterful job as director, weaving the story together, using drama and humor to lightly touch upon all the major issues that the film tackled. Satire was used really well to make sure that the Nazis were portrayed in a ridiculous light, and that really worked well. Waititi's own portrayal of Hitler was so ridiculously stupid it was humorous. Scarlett Johansson was brilliant as Jojo's mom, and the shoe scene was heartbreaking and totally unexpected, and really brought reality to the movie. The ensemble cast was brilliant. Sam Rockwell and Rebel Wilson, along with Archie Yates, were all outstanding. The leader of the pack, though, was Roman Griffin Davis as Jojo. Although he is a kid, he did such an outstanding job. There was no other male actor this year that I thought had a better performance. He had a totally authentic performance, and I can't imagine anyone else playing Jojo, as he really took on that character and made it his own. I cannot stop raving about his performance. This movie checks off every box I have for what is a great movie. Hopefully we will get to see Roman Griffin Davis in many more great movies. The biggest problem with this movie is that it never went into wide release. It's a shame that such a great movie was so hard to find in the theater. And just to point out, when I rank my all-time movies, Jojo Rabbit is also my #1 movie of all time. So, as we end our countdown with Jojo Rabbit, a big 5 stars.
And that's my top 10 movies of 2019. I would appreciate any comments with your thoughts below. Now hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video. Then join us next time as I look to the 20 most anticipated movies of 2020. We'll see you then.